17 Last Seed, Day 2. If She-Dryler believes that the slave couldn't sell the stolen items, so that they must still be around somewhere, probably in a nearby stash. If I find it, it may reveal some clues about the culprit. A bounty has been offered for near Meni Eneth. She's been robbing pilgrims on Velitha's path east of Almesthur and is wanted dead. A witness, Voraz O'Day-Thil, whose house is southeast of Roadir, witnessed the latest attack.
So welcome back to the adventures of Shiaryu. Currently in Old Ibonat, and we just read from her diary, her journal of past things. Mostly happening in Almastir. So we are now in Old Ibonat, just reached the place, and we spent the night here. The first place, the first tavern in Old Ibonat, the Moth and Tiger. That's a pretty nice one. And now we will see what to do in this big city. Explore a little. At least I think this is a right save. I don't remember honestly. Let me check. This is one, and this one is in the sewers. Day 3. Yeah, I think this is the one. So this is another character, but honestly I don't remember. But we are here. We will take a look at the city. I'm not sure. Maybe it's a wrong character, because I think I did something last time. I streamed about Morrowind in Old Ibonat. Let me check the quest. Maybe it's not the right save. Oh, I lost some save. Could be also. Temple, Latin American NPC.
Extrajudicial punishment. At the docks of Roadir, I have spoken to She-Dryler about a delicate problem she was having and agreed to help her.
So this is still
she suspects
something
that
about
one of the slaves is stealing from the ships, and wants me to find out which one of them it is.
Okay, let's see what happens. I don't remember, honestly. And I have my mod, which is recognizing on the fly the kegs as water container. I didn't add a fancy label over them, but you can use them. Actually, called necessities or Morrowind scripts on them. We can also steal some ingredient here. But as usual, sooner or later we will try to reach Sidanim and start main quest. Mostly to be able sooner or later to join Julan. Because I think I will try to play with Julao. Probably with Yashka. And especially Constance, because Constance is the more funny companion between the classic ones. Also Shani is fun, but Constance is even better. Okay, we have a lot of ingredients here. Maybe we could try. Oh, I don't have yet anything to make some potion. What's that? I have no idea. Anyway, out we go exploring the big city. I hope I will not crash so soon because, you know, it's a while that it's easier to crash because you feel the memory and so on. Oh, and Shiayu has just equipped an helmet because it's raining, so this is something a role-playing thing, not to really that I have helmet protecting from water. I could add something like that, I think, easily, because I have a mod which is adding bad effects from I'm soaking wet from the rain, so maybe the helmet could protect a little against this. That's an idea. Now we can do a lot of things that were more difficult because we have WSC that can integrate between also standard mods, and you can do a lot of things. For instance, a mod that I'm slowly using and adding things to integrate things is, I call it gameplay, and basically it does a lot of things interfacing standard mods, like I can detect if I have some kind of mob. Well, it does this thing which is pretty interesting, I think. If I find some animation from, for instance, Antares animation in towers, city NPCs, or from Morrowind Castle Live and so on, I can disable collision on the sitting stool, on the chairs, on the planks. So even when they are not updated by the mod or not working correctly, I can disable that collision so they sit in a proper way. And then adding lights to caravanners, shipmasters, gondoliers and so on. And the good thing about doing this from Lua is that you do it in a general way, regardless of the mods you have installed on the fly. And this is adding bound weapons and spells to Dedra. This is a minor thing, fixing misspelled gauntlet. It's a standard bug in Morrowind, but this is done on the fly, so even if some mod is doing this, you can fix it. Oh, this is a nice one, because there's a script in the armor you get from the Legion and so on, that is checking if you have an armor equipped, a Legion armor equipped, and if you don't have the Legion uniform, they tell you you are out of uniform, you must use it, and so on. Problem is that script does not work 100% because sometimes you have that thing equipped but the script is not updating the global variables, uh, related global variables correctly. So they still think you have not uh, the armor equipped, and you have to equip it again, so it's a little annoying. And this is something that tries to detect it from Lua, so is sort of fixing that script, replacing that part. And this is the same thing about adding bound weapons and lights, but this try to add clothes to dancers and naked people. Because I'm not using the peanuts or the cloths version of Better Bodies, I'm using the nude one, but uh, I realized that maybe making videos with the random naked people could be something that uh, I'd better avoid. Well, I have my videos set up for adult, uh, not for adult, but not for children, so it's not really a problem. But I prefer just to have them lost in the wild. But it's a thing that we can enable or disable. So in theory, it should give clothes to people. Then, if they don't use them, it's not my responsibility. But anyway, we will see if it works. And this is a nice thing that uh, was a little tweak made by Nike that I have just copied it here, and in theory is checking if you are when you try to sleep in the wild, if you have the message that you can't sleep because there are enemies around keeping you in a dangerous situation. But this trick is checking if these enemies are in the water, because if they are in the water and you are instead on solid terrain where you can try to sleep, it means that those water creatures are not really something that can attack you because they are in the water, and so basically it skips that message, so you can still try to sleep there if these dangerous creatures are in the water. So I think it's a very good idea, especially if you're using mods like Waterlife, where there are a lot of water creatures which are fighting each other, and so they are detected as potential dangers for the player normally. And so this is pretty nice. And this is another one that I'm still experimenting with and see if it is something useful. Basically, I noticed a problem when you have a very highly modded game. Sometimes things become a little slow, and when you load certain big cells with a lot of people, a lot of things, a lot of meshes, and a lot of things happening, especially in big cities and so on, it happens that actors you find are sort of still floating a little over the floor. This happens because the game has not enough time to correctly start, apply the gravity to all these NPCs, and this trick tries to fix this thing, basically repeating what you can do to fix this on the game console, which is applying 2 times the TCL command, which means toggle collision. This command just it is a toggle that disable and then enable the second time the collision. This way you reset the collision and the game automatically warp every NPC to the floor instantly, and so you can do it from the console, but this fix try to do it every time you change one cell. So this is what it is trying to do, and in theory this could be able to fix automatically this situation. So something useful if you have this problem often, which should not happen a lot, but if you have a very long loading list like I have, it could be something useful. And this is a special one. If I detect the go to jail mod by Activision Tires, I have a lot of tweaks for it. So if you go to prison, it is easier to drop all your things in the starting chest where you have to drop all your gear to be able to work in the mine, and you have to do in the standard mode due to the scripting limits of the standard scripting. You have to do by hand, fill, drop everything, fill the chest and so on. This tweak from Lua is trying to do this automatically, so you fill the chest automatically. And similarly, this is if I detect the mod, the containers mod by Granza 7, I can choose here multiplier for weight containers. So basically I have set so if I put something in a container, it is perceived like a gain of the things, the space of an easier way to carry things, so things weight a little less, and I can tweak this. Currently it is 75% of the normal weight, and these are setting for the Windows Glow mode. So I can choose to spawn a light once in a while instead of for each exterior window. This way there are less lights. Still have the nice effect of real lights from window, but not every window. This is a good compromise in my opinion, but we can set also all lights on or skip lights completely. But this is mostly for me because I know that very few people is using this mod, but I like it because it is the only mod adding real lights for Windows, and not only fake glow. Anyway, this one is for the same mod, and this is just to print error messages and things. So this is a general tweaking mod that I use, and I add things every now and then, but it's very tailored to the mod list. But the nice thing is that these options appears only if the mod, the special mod, a normal mod is detected. And I think this is a very powerful thing about the Lua panels in the configurator, because you can do something like this and the user is just seeing things that he can use. And then, well, the rest of the thing is something already showed in previous videos. I think there's something tweaked in the head bars, should work a little better now, or recognize expanded heads better, but I not yet I think updated this. I'm not sure about it. Anyway, oh, some little mods adding to the fun. Anyway, It's raining. We are wet, so we could use less weight here. This thing is super heavy. But honestly, I don't remember. I'm not sure. I think in last video I had another save. I'm not sure about it. Let me check 1 minute because honestly I don't remember. Maybe I had another save and I forgot about it. But I will take a note. BC check. I'm looking at the video just to be sure. Oh yes, now I remember we had a video.
Has requested my aid in finding his lost horse, Ross.
We had a video about also an arrow. Okay, now I remember. So, not sure if this is a previous save, but it is the one I have. So, I fear we will have to redo some of the progress if this is not the right save. But one thing I remember is that we found a little problem in one of the guilds. So first thing I want to check is if we have solved that problem. There was a problem with a mesh out of center, and so the interior of the guild was not properly. This one, I think the East Empire Company. So yeah, this is an old save. I'm not sure I have still the right one.
The Nine and the Empire, citizen.
Yeah. So I can join
I understand the
and
requirements.
repeat. I will repeat fast, more or less.
Ishan Nemesia in Old Ebonheart asked me to speak with an excise agent who is
the last
harassing
time, but
merchants
I
at
want
the
to
Old
check
Ebonheart
if
docks.
there is still that problem. It was another guild,
The
maybe
Nine
the
and
Fighters
the Empire,
Guild.
citizen.
But probably I have lost that last save. I'm sorry for this, but I will try to more or less redo the same things as last video very fast. So we already know what to do. Should be pretty fast. Okay, we join here. No bugs. Ah, yes, I must have lost the save while. Oh, look at this, raw ebony.
The Nine and the Empire, citizen.
This book.
And we try to read the books.
Glass in Morrowind Preamble.
I don't try to touch squads because if you try to get them, they go mad. You look like you are in the market for a share in one of our fabulous new mining properties. Sounds
good.
Wonderful. Okay. She says so.
This
Oh, we can go down here. We could actually use a weapon like this, but it's heavy.
The Nine and the Empire, citizen.
Hello, Imperial Lady.
Cassandra Elise at the East Empire Company in Old Ebonheart told me that she sold an ebony mine to the Redaran that was already depleted. Landisero Moron is demanding a full refund of 300,000 septims and refuses to leave the EEC until that happens. Met Blackbriar upstairs normally handles mine affairs.
Blackbriar. That's a surname that reminds of Skyrim game.
This
not many interesting books in the East Empire Company offices. Everything is about commerce and restitution. So she's the Redaran lady. She wants money back. 300,000 septims. Wow. Give 300,000 septims. I think Xiaoyu will have to spend a lot of time to get 300,000 septims.
Do nothing.
I don't have that, ladies, sorry. In a short time. We will try and find a way to have.
This book contains information about Barrio's East Empire Company accounts.
And I love these little detail, but I think it is a little too high. It needs a giant to look at it, but Maybe it's because this way it is harder to steal it.
This book contains information about...
But I'm unable to find some interesting skill book here. Everything is about money. This one is a little bit. And here we have other interesting weapons. And a guard.
Here to see the castle?
Okay, so meshes here are pretty good. Oh, no problem. Maybe it was the Fighters Guild. Oh, let me check this card. Different face. Yeah, that's good. Ooh, what a nice day. No more raining. And I like to barter, but he's doesn't have a lot of gold. Okay, so this is the East Empire Company. We are now member, and we could visit. This is a manor. Let me check what manor, because we must enter to be able to know the place. Ruma Suanix's manor. Let me check the guards here. See if they have. Ooh, a velvet pillow. Nice, I want one. There should be some. Ooh, I hate these Colovian hats. Oh, they look like something that rich people like to use. I guess fashion is a thing also in Wonderful. But I was looking for guards because I want to check if they have. Ooh, I hope that rat is domestic. Pelagius. Hi, Pelagius. And how I love the sound of wood under your feet, thanks to the sound mod.
The first...
Nice. An ogling trophy used as a candle base. Hi, nice lady. Oh, a Dark Elven Shipmaster is causing some trouble. Anyway, no guards, so I think I will just go down. Lots of things to do. Ooh.
Wrong way.
Okay. The House of Mysteries. This is a nice shop. Oh, Burica Private Bank. A bank. we have no money at the moment, so...
The real Baronzia. Our city's taverns reviewed. New to our fair city? Looking for a place to forget the troubles of the road? Fret not, the bellman has you covered. Our correspondents have visited, rated, and ranked all our taverns, inns and boarding houses, for your convenience. The Moth and Tiger.
Oh, our tavern.
Despite its unassuming exterior, this establishment offers the finest lodgings and drinks in all of Ebonheart. Do try its impressive selection of wines. Travelers longing for the comforts of home need look no further than the first building to the right as they enter our city through the main gate.
So interesting
Not
about
to be confused
an
with the
article
Legion
about
boarding
all
house
the
across the
taverns.
street,
There are a lot
which
of
only
them.
serves Legion recruits.
Pretty nice. Little details like this are what is making this mod pretty great. Oh, and this is the
Fighters
Guild, like you just read from the sign, and we are eager to join because we already did it last time, but I forgot or lost my save, so bear with me, we will do it again fast. And I think the problem with the meshes was right here in this skill, so we must check if I have fixed that problem. I think so. The problem was even something.
Attention! All guild members are hereby reminded. Upon using the training area, each member is to clean up all blood spilled from his or her own body.
Oh, gross. The problem with the mesh was a weird one.
Come on then, say something
It was
and move on.
not even out of center. What was out of center was the collision part of the mesh, which is invisible. Still, that was able to put the whole mesh out of position. And so it was creating a sort of a very visible gap in the build, but now should be fixed. Anyway, I want to join. Where should I go?
She's not hard to look at.
I guess up, because usually guild masters are up.
Guide to Old Ebonheart.
Oh, this could be useful.
Old Ebonheart is the beating heart of the Empire in
Look at
Morrowind and
this.
the largest imperial city in all the East.
I must say,
Seated at
this
the very
is a
mouth
wonderful
of the mighty
map.
Thur River, the city is a mighty symbol of imperial culture and military power, and a friendly haven for travelers in the often hostile lands of the Dark Elves. Despite its mainland location, Old Ebonheart is part of Vardenfell district, and the legal seat of its duke, the noble Vadum Dren. Duke Dren, having relocated his administration to the new Ebonheart upon Vardenfell in the Ascadian Isles, has left governance of the city in the hands of Burgrave Caros Coxius, Castellan of the Ebon
So I don't
Tower.
think I can take this because I'm not even a member yet, but I want that map. I think I will try to find one.
Call of the Beasts. Mixed unit tactics. The Axeman. Of all the members of the
A skill book. She doesn't
Book of Riddles.
use trainer.
This hand.
Well, she does. She does real training thanks to the Alchemist Hunters mod. But she prefers to learn from books. Cool, we want to join.
Read charter. You bet. Sharnoga Gramal in the Old Ebonheart Fighters Guild has tasked me with helping Photas Locutius, her subordinate who was cursed by a witch. An exclusive restore willpower potion may cure his ailment.
Okay, so I remember we already did the quest last time. We can get a potion from one shop or one guild, maybe even from the Mages Guild. We want also to go
The
there.
Epic of the Grey Fall.
These books are something useful.
Edit. Editor's note: Volumes 1 to 6 are taken from the so-called Riemann manuscript Red Book.
Yeah, everything is working correct. Mesh problem is no more. That's good.
A Dance in Fire, Chapter 3 by Wine Jar. Sure. The most the truth. Painted people.
The soup
tattooing
book.
across the empire. King Helsith. The Just Punishment by Erat Uriel.
Oh, not a skill book, just a new spell. I was hoping a skill book, but
Tem.
let's see what spell we learned. They have strange names. Suicide dive. Water brushing for 10 seconds. Basically something not so useful. A sort of joke. But it's always good to learn a spell, because then you can make your version. You can go to a mage and have the mage teach you a longer version of the spell or something like that. Oh, we can actually get some useful potions here. Why am I
You will die
expelled?
where you stand.
I'm a member. I don't think that's how things should be. Unless they have different rules. I did not read the sign, but I was confident about being authorized to use the, at least in wonderful things work this way. You are a member, you can use things from that chest as you like. That's pretty rough. I will read the sign, but it feels strange. We just joined the guild. We got our first quest. Oh well. I will check the sign, but it looks like a bug for me. Let's try again. I want to learn that. Super useful spell. But come on, look at this. How can you do some textures like this? I mean, must be something like 64 pixel resolution. Maybe not 64, but 128, something like that.
Biography of the just
Yeah, we
punishment
learned
material.
suicide dive again. Okay, so lady here, no orders. Okay, we go down. Okay, let's read the sign. Attention.
Attention. All guild members are hereby reminded. Upon using the training area,
Nothing to
each
do with the chest. Let me check. We are member, I think. Race. Faction. Fighters Guild. Apprentice. Oh no, associate. I don't understand. Probably the chest is under a rank check, but I will take a note about seeing how it works in the construction set. Because I don't think it's a good idea, because in standard game you just join a guild and you are able to use the chest. I don't see why Time Your Rebuild must do things differently here. Oh, they are training. And I want to show you another of those integration mods that I was talking about. So I have this little mod that detects if I have another standard mod, which is adding animated. They are called dummies, and I can, on the fly, I can touch the static standard dummy here, and it becomes a practice dummy, animated one that you can use to practice your skills. Doesn't work so well with melee weapons at the start, but it was very well with spell and also with I think ranged weapons, but I have not ranged weapon. Let's try with the bomb dagger. So you can improve your skills by practice in theory, if I manage to hit the thing, not easy. As you can see, every now and then. And you can practice your skill this way, this very immersive way. And the good thing is about doing this on the fly, so there's no frame rate problem, nothing. You want to use the practice dummy, you touch it and then it becomes a real one, regardless of the mode on which the static is coming. Yeah, shot blade increased. Ooh, we can use also the sword. Oh, I still know, so we will better practice this one if possible, but it will be harder to hit. Oh, we must touch it. I forgot. I must touch it for it to work. And this animation for the bomb weapons from Carbulio is something really great.
Here it comes.
It's one of those mods that I'd never remove from my game, unless something better is coming, but I doubt this is an easy thing, because these bomb weapons redone are just great. They are beautiful, and the effects are really something at a level of quality I never seen in this game so far. So grab it if you can. I'm silly, I still keep forgetting, enabling.
I have the upper hand. Here it comes.
The practice timings before using it.
Come on, fight.
Whew. As you can see, like everything in Morrowind, when your fatigue is low, you are not able to hit so well. But this is another nice mod, because when I'm sneaking, my fatigue has low improvement.
I'm not giving up that easily.
Give in.
I get 3 points of fatigue per second when I'm crouching. And this is from another mod of mine, which is called Alt, which is adding a lot of interaction with the Alt key and other things like this. And it's even an old MWC before Lua mod, but I'm not touching it because it works very well, and my opinion is better to use Lua to do new things that you cannot do with previous mods, because if an old mod works well, why change it? Now we don't even have the reason. The main reason was, but you could spare a mod slot if you do it in Lua. Well, it is true, but nowadays it's not really so important, because we can use up to more than 1000 mods thanks to the changes to to the
Around
game
here somewhere.
done by the MWSC UR developers and Morrowind code patch and so on, they increased the number of mods that can be loaded, so no more a big problem. So I prefer to invest my energy in new Lua mods that do things
Escape me that easily.
not previously possible with all mods. Not easy to target things from another point of view. I hope to be able to at least increase 1 point in longsword.
Let's see what you're made of.
2 points.
Surrender now,
Here
and I
it
might let you
comes.
live.
I must wait a little,
You're
regain
hardly
some
a match for
fatigue.
me.
I can also eat some salt rice. Oh, and also eating that, I have another mod which is detecting when I drop food for necessities of Morrowind and applying the related necessities of Morrowind improvement
You'll be
even
dead
without
I will enjoy
using the food satchel.
soon. I'm not giving up that easily.
Yeah, long blade increase. And we destroyed all the practice dummies. Time to talk. Hello, Ophelie. Nice lady. How can we bother with a member? We should be able. But I think I'd better invest the money in some little magic. Narusia has a bad reputation. Can I read this? No, not a real. Can I get some little more quests?
I'll
I
make
have
this
you.
quick.
Oh, they are fighting each other,
I'm not giving up that easily.
doing some practice. But the mystery of the chess is something we must solve.
You'll be dead soon. Hail!
Hello. Okay, let's go out and try to find this potion for our friend there. Nice helmet. We can join the Imperial
Review the
Guard.
requirements and doctrines.
The 9 divines will help.
Yes, I wish to join. I have joined the Imperial cult.
And now we need an air round.
An Imperial cult member gave me a copy of For My Gods and Emperor, a handbook for members of the Imperial cult.
5 parts of Dwemer's
Valaka
scrap
Prancha has asked
metal.
me to retrieve 5 pieces of Dwemer scrap metal. She says that they are to be melted into small figurines of the 9 divines and sold.
Okay, not easy. We have 1. So, tell you what, I think I will drop 1 here. I hope that is not considered stolen. Because
Prayers
it is
to the 9
probably
divines,
stolen, but
come to me, Akadosh,
not from
for without you,
a
my
place nearby. Can we use the altar? Yeah, we can. That's good. Another altar here? No, just some decoration. Vesperia and another god. We cannot see their face under the helmet, but probably the mod is working. Oh, look at this. This reminds me of the equivalent chapels in Skyrim, in Oblivion. Pretty nice, pretty well done. Oh, and these are altars for each. Nice. Not now, but I will come back for these. Pretty altars. I want something from Akadosh or the Bella.
Friend?
Hello, lady. Ooh, she's selling interesting things. Enchanted weapons. Longbow of precision. Well, I can sell these.
Editor's note. Lament for
I don't know.
the blood.
I don't want to touch the scrolls. Scrolls are
Reflection.
dangerous.
Vardenfell's epidemic. Mystery play of Old Evan Hart. This play is being the old ways. An overview.
I would be curious to touch the scrolls, but I had a bad experience with one of them. I'm not being able to read them.
The 36 Lessons of Vivek, Sermon 29.
This is
Scripture
probably
of the
one of the
the dragon break, or the tower.
weird
1, 2.
sounds.
The enantiomorph. 68-3. The invisible gate, Shivi. 112-4. The corners of House of Troubles.
A very interesting one. This.
The
Interesting place.
What was that about?
Hello. Spells. Wow. Okay. Why this spell is pretty interesting. Let's take a look at it. Restore health and restore magicka on touch. That means we can use it on a companion, for instance, and that's pretty good. A restore health on companions is something pretty useful. A restore magicka, maybe not so, but that's a good bet. This way you can learn the spell and then make a tailored spell going to another mage and let the mage teach you a spell with the same components but not on touch. So you could use a restore magicka on self, and depending on the cost of the spell it could be something convenient, because if you manage to restore more magic than the one you use to cast the spell, bingo, you find a way to restore your magic for free. I'm not sure this is possible, at least for spells you do it yourself or you learn from other magic users, because usually the cost is higher. So only pre-made special spells are convenient to restore your magic by casting a spell. But not sure about it. It's something good to investigate. Or maybe it depends also on other factors. But something interesting to investigate. Anyway, let's go out while we have this beautiful day. Look at this. Pretty nice. And yeah, we are in the main chapel, the grand chapel of Talos. So one of the best looking places. another big manor. Okay, time to look for the Mages Guild. We should be not far from the main plaza. Oh, Imperial Archaeological Society, can we join? Hello.
The Dwemer Collection. The Dwarven people of Morrowind, also known as the Dwemer, are equally known for their ingenious mechanical contraptions and their mysterious blink of an eye extinction in the 8th century of the First Era.
I'm looking at the guard faces, checking if the mod is working. Seems a little different. Can he join? Yeah.
The Nine and the Empire,
Different
citizen.
faces.
This room is not open to the general public.
So the mod is working well.
The Goblin Collection.
The Nine and the Empire, citizen.
The Arnishian War Collection. This room is not open to the general public. This room is not
So no way to join here.
This room is not open to...
Okay. Half of the place is not open to general public. I have not found a way to join, so the only lady here is not very helpful.
I was told about a transportation system in the old Dunmer strongholds. The Propulon...
Interesting to know. Maybe the time is not... Oh, no, I don't think it could be a problem. Maybe there's no way to join the guild. I think it's strange. Okay, so we have a shop over there, an alchemy shop. Maybe I can find the potion. Ooh, frame rate is pretty bad here. So we need an exclusive restore willpower I think we found that even a different potion is working last time. Restore willpower. This is a super one, not exclusive, but if I recall correctly, it was working. It is not cheap, but I think this can spare us a few times. As you can see, I'm using a mod which is making bartering much harder. So making money is not so easy. The mod is called Smart Merchants, and it's a mix and match basically of not fusion, standard old mods, tweaking the gameplay settings, and also harder bartering inspired newer settings. Different is I'm using different scales for the difficulty, because more standard one is using higher difficulty scales. This one is a little less steep, so it's a little easier. And then other settings. There's also a setting for the creatures, so you can have also creatures like the creeper and the mud crab merchant be able to barter a little better, because usually creatures are not able to barter. They sell things at the same price, low price. With this mod, things are a little more balanced. So we found the potion. Oh well, let's go and use it. And let me check if things are working. This is another mod, adding the sounds to water. Okay, we have the potion, we got the med, member of the Fighters Guild.
Force Photos to drink an exclusive Restore Willpower potion.
Ooh! Now we must find a witch east of Old Ibonat, past Shrintu in the mountains. So we have the first out of place quest. Something probably hard for a level 1 character. We will see. Why my intelligence is bad? Mages Guild, where are you?
Well, hello there. A pleasure to meet
Barrister's
you.
Guild. Mages Guild. What?
But to find the boss of the guild, we must go up, I think. Lots of ladies without hair.
Notes on Racial Phylogeny and Biology, 7th edition, by the First Hold Revolt. Song of the Shanak's Fire and Fate. The 5 songs. Guide to Old Ebonheart.
I think I can
Old
steal
Ebonheart
this.
is the beating heart of the Empire in Guide to Old Ebonheart.
And here is the master.
What is the Mage's Oath? Yes, I would like to join.
So we must go to the basement.
The Art of War Mat. Book 1.
I mean, we are in the Guildmaster room, so it's pretty normal to find some skill book.
The final lesson by Frostfall Book 10 of 2009.
We need money. Hmm. Oh, this is useful. This could be nice, but 15 seconds is something really not good.
Angasta. Feifoken.
Oh, our conjuration is increasing a lot. Okay.
Amelphia Terramon is looking for alchemical ingredients to restock
Oh
the
yes, I
old Evanhard
remember
Mages
this
Guild
one.
stores. She has asked me to get 2 Ornata eggs, 3 different varieties of Hamam root, and 1 amethyst.
And the difficult one, I think,
Amelphia
is the
reminded me that
roots.
she wants 3 different samples of Hamam root. I may have to gather several to compare. Invi- Al- Vampire Incident in Necrom by Jonquilla Boda. Angasta.
Yes?
The new guy, very happy to see us. Oh, we found the travel one. Oh, Shadowfire. To be honest, I already did something like that because I have one fellow Morrowind player which was really looking for something like that, and he asked me a lot of times. So finally, I did something like that. I found, I think, a mega account big enough to get all the, I think, 16 or 18 gigabyte of space to get my Morrowind folder there, and I did just like that. But it's not easy to maintain because I'm always tweaking things, and things are not so stable and guaranteed to work well, because I do oftentimes I change things, I do experiment, new mods, new tweaks, and not everything is working correctly at the first try. And so this is problem number one. So problem number two is it takes time to update online things because it's a big folder and not something you update every day. And third problem, which is the bigger one, it's not something, even if I think to maintain something like that, I'm not going to run for permissions everywhere. I did something like that in a reduced kind of folder size for the source time project overhaul mod, which was to make a lot of mods compatible with the first version of source time overhaul by Wally, and I did that. I tweaked a lot of mods to be compatible and so on, and it was already hard to keep on updating that thing. Also, it became sort of obsolete fast, because then that mod has been abandoned by the author and transformed in a completely different thing. So I keep on using the old version because mostly because I think that moving standard Blood Moon Island to the north is just a silly thing. Just looking for trouble, incompatibility, and so on. Oh, for a real silly reason, which is to put the view of Tamir rebuilt a little more distant. So really something that I'm happy to not be involved with. But having said that, honestly, I already give access to something like that big mega folder to this friend. So if you really want to install something like that and be prepared to the bugs that you may find inside this big Morrowind world with all the possible conflicts and so on and things not working, you can PM me. I can give also that access to that folder to you, but with the condition that you don't publish or share in public these things, because I have no permission by all mod authors to share in public this thing, and I don't even want to try to get the permission from thousands of modders uh, that are inside that big 80 gigabyte 18 gigabyte of uh, mods and 80 years of modding histories. That is my folder. So uh, if you're interested, let me know. I can give you a link to that folder, but not something officially published or officially maintained for people. It's just some folders with all experiments and mod pieces and things that I used to play and to mod the game and to experiment with new mods and so on. But basically it's my folder where I play and test things and what you see when I stream Morrowind. FPS is pretty bad for modern standard because in certain areas like this one, like this model, for instance, in this city or time rebuild, we have low frame rate, and also I notice a very low frame rate in Raw Deer in this same mod. Because these big cities with lots of NPCs are probably the places where the frame rate is worse for obvious reason. We can take a look at the frame rate just to get an idea. I don't know how visible it is in this streaming, but it should be visible now in the top left corner. And if you can see it, it is stable in the interiors at 30 because I have it limited to 30 with my video card settings because I prefer to not have 60 because for this kind of game it's not really needed, and this way I can keep my video card silent with I prefer. But 30 could be pretty good for a game like Morrowind, which is very hard to optimize. And also I have not a powerful computer. I have a decent video card, but the rest of the computer is, I think, a little old for modern standards. So basically in interior I have no FPS problem. I'm limiting it to 30, but it could be 60 or 80, no problem. Problems is usually in the exteriors. If we go out of here, we have an example. But first let me do a little note here because I want to take a note about this transport. As we could use it. Let me check what destinations are available. No description. So Androthren, which is probably not very useful. Almalexia, same thing. Akamora and Bosmora, so locations in Timey Rebuild, and not link from here with Vardenfell. Okay. Okay, let's go out and we can check the frame rate. I think the frame rate in all the Ibona could be something like 12, 15, so pretty low. I don't think it's a super big problem with a game like Morrowind because the fight is not usually something for which you need a good frame rate. But as you can see, 14, 15, something like that. This is the frame rate in Ibonat, in all the Ibonat. I could gain something reducing the distant land, probably
Ordo Rumaria,
a little, but
Outfitter.
not much. But the game is pretty stable until I reach the full memory, which is a big problem nowadays. With I noticed recently, I think that's some kind of memory leaking due to something about more recent version or I don't know if it is a problem with MGXE or with Morrowind card patch or with Lua MW's SC Lua, or if it is not even a problem but something that has always been present without anybody realizing it, because now we realize it because we have mods like memory monitor, which is telling you, hey, you are finishing your memory, you will crash in a short time. But maybe this is something that's always been with big modding lists. It is just something that we realize because now we can have the messages. It could be something like that. Honestly, my impression is there is something consuming memory more faster than 6 months ago or 1 year ago. This is my impression, but I have no proof about it. I tried a lot of things, but still I not found something that can confirm that some specific memory leak somewhere. In practice, I had recently, I realized that removing 3 or 4 big landmass mods, I'm able to play for longer before having problem of full memory. And this is just something that I suggest to everybody having this kind of problem. If you see that you crash often, first thing you should do is be sure to have installed the Lua mod called Memory Monitor, because that mod can tell you, hey, you are finishing your available memory. In a short time, you are likely to crash, and so you can exit the game. Save, then exit the game, and then when you restart Morrowind, you will usually have some memory back to keep on playing. But essentially, it gives you advice so you can save before crashing. But there's nothing you can do at that point. The only way to get some memory back is to restart Morrowind. And this is a big problem if you like to play with a lot of big mods installed like I'm used to. But something that you can solve just removing the mods that you don't use in the current. For instance, I have removed a few landmass and big quest mods that are meant to be played for a high level character. I hope to be able to add them sooner or later, but there's no real difference for me now because I'm low level. I will never try to play those areas because they are for level 40 or 50, so removing those mods is not a big deal. There's something that I don't like a lot, but a good compromise to be able to play for a couple hours without crashing problems. And I think this is something that everybody having a similar big mod list installed should consider if they are experiencing this kind of crashes, because this is a limit of our Morrowind Morrowind standard engine, because it has the limit of the 4 GB memory, which is nothing. You can do nothing against it, in short, because it's a limit, a very low level limit. You need a 64 bits program to get more memory. In short, you need to use to try and use Open Morrowind or something like that to avoid that problem. Not sure this is completely solving the problem, because honestly it's been a lot of time since I tried running Open Morrowind with my mod list, but even not considering the hundreds of Lua mods that I am using, which would not be compatible for sure, I don't think I've never been able to run my standard big mod list with Open Morrowind. It was never able to run all of that, so not sure if it is possible. So in short, if you have a big modded Morrowind and you are using the standard version of Morrowind and you are crashing a lot, try removing some mods that you are not you're not in real need for. An example could be very high level mods that require a super strong character, because you are not using them anymore at the start or when you are in the middle level, so you can add them in the future with no big problems. This is at least a current situation until we find a better way to. Maybe there's a little leak and we can solve it, never say never. Or maybe it is just a limit of the old engine. But regardless, I think that what Lua can add, and it is already adding to our gameplay, is so nice and important that I think people that try it would not be happy about having to remove it completely, like if they choose to use Open Morrowind. And I realized recently, and a lot of people realize, that we are using hundreds of Lua mods without thinking about it. And I recently made a mod to make debugging also Lua mods easier, in that you can easily copy to the Windows clipboard the list of your Lua mods, because it's not something that was available easily for the mod user, and this way you can post that list to, and so mod authors have this help trying to figure what problems, what conflicts could be in your loading list. And the mod is called mod list. So as you can see, you go to the panel, you see the list, standard list of the standard mods, basically your standard loading order like you can see in Mesh or mlogs, but you can see also automatically the list of the Lua mods, and this is not something easily available. Let me find it. Here it is. So as you can see, I'm using a lot of normal mods, but also a lot of Lua mods, more than 100 Lua mods. And this Lua mods list is very limited compared to lists that I have seen used by other people. I think Danai has like 300 or something like that Lua mods installed. So this is pretty useful. Basically, when you go here, you have already in your clipboard this list, and you can easily post it on a forum, on Discord, in a place where you can get help. And this is very useful because, for instance, for this mod, the Smart Heads mod, people were having some conflicts, some crashes, something that I was not having, and comparing the Lua mods that they had. So the Lua mods of one user, of another user, and another user, I've been able to find some Lua mods that they had in common, and installing those mods, I finally found a way to get the same problem, and I've been able this way to find a fix for it. So this thing can help a lot solving problems. And if you have a problem with the Lua mod, you think you have a problem with the Lua mod, you go here, install this mod, go in this panel and paste the list, so the mod auto can check what your Lua mods list is. So, as you can see here, we have 16, 20, it depends, but frame rate is not super bad. Usually it is worse when you change cells the first time, because there are a lot of scripts running, but honestly it's not so bad. In this area of the city we are about 20 frames per second. It's not bad. In the center of the city, in the main square, things are a little worse, but still something you can play.
Care to see the sights? Where can I take you?
The excise agent, Ignatius Jurilius, is requiring a merchant, Naval Drolner, to provide proper documentation of the port of origin of his Kwama.
So we can do this quest, we already know how to do it. I'm not sure I got the quest. Probably not. We now start with Porcilla. But anyway, all in all, we have some moments, 10, 9. Again, I don't think Morrowind is a game where frame rate is so important, because one moment where you may wish for a better frame rate is when you fight, but usually you don't fight inside cities. So places where frame rate is real bad usually are not places where you need a good frame rate. There are exceptions, but they are pretty rare. And honestly, I prefer a good, wonderful city like this and have a distant land view like this and have a bad frame rate than having a good frame rate but with a very short view, or with less NPCs around, less quests, less beauty, in short. Because Morrowind is, in my opinion, Morrowind essentially is exploration, atmosphere and mods, and making a world to call your own with the mods you choose and make work together. Okay, so I think we need to go back, talk with not here. I don't remember where it is. Guild, bank. Oh, here it is.
All right, I'm listening.
Does also to take into account that when you do some streaming, a part of your computer power is going there, so you have not only the game running but also the software to do the streaming and the bandwidth you use to stream and so on. Everything is working on the same computer, and part of the computer resources got there. So a little drop in the frame rate also is for that reason. But this is not the place for that quest. We must go back to the port. I'm talking about other things, I'm talking about frame rate, but I forget how to properly progress with the quest. But this city is something really great. Yes, we have frame rate problems, but I think this one has another city that we have recently visited, which is Raw Deer. It's really something worth just to see how big and beautiful it is. And also, again, my computer is not top of anything anymore, so I think that modern computers could be a little better with the frame rate. And we must go here, talk with the
Anytime
lady.
now.
Porceladethos told me they would accept a flat tariff based off weight of the shipment in lieu of paperwork.
And there's people in line, they are not very happy.
The
And now in here we should be able to talk. Haha. Is using a Colovian hat. When you see a
Care to
Colovian
see the
hat,
sights?
you know
Where
that
can I take you?
it's not some smart person. Still waiting. Maybe we must tell him first. No. He's talking about a small village. So we talk with the nod at the docks and get some help from him.
Ingscar Pale Trick thinks he can estimate the weight of the shipment if I remind him how much Kwama eggs weigh.
I remember this one. I told him that the eggs are about 2 centimeters each, but I think the right answer is 1. Because I think I did it wrong.
I told Ingscar Pale Trick the eggs weigh 1 pound each.
Care to see the sights? Where can I take you?
Naval Drallner paid the 15 gold and gave me an extra 50 for helping him out.
And everybody's happy now. But the nice thing about this quest is if you answer wrong like I did the previous training, he's still paying, but it tells you that I don't think this is a real business because I'm not able to get some money back from from this kind of prices and so on. So you feel like guilty for this poor farmer. Okay, I think we are done. So basically, in theory, we can now go back to the Imperial.
The Nine and the Empire.
I think to
citizen.
the Imperial Trading, East Imperial Trading Company, which reminds me
Go ahead,
very
stranger.
much of the Valiant Trading Company that is in the game Pillars of Eternity, that fire, the other game that I'm streaming every now and then, and they look very similar. 4 p.m. You must walk, and every now and then, because we have no stamina, but this way we can also take a look at the beautiful city.
Here to see the castle? The Nine and the Empire, citizen.
I told Isha how I resolved the case of the excise agent. She was pleased.
100 gold, not bad.
Isha Nemesha in Old Ebonheart tasked me with investigating people suspected of making counterfeit septims. They are supposedly in the Old Ebonheart sewers. If I find them, I should kill them, and return with a counterfeit coin as proof.
Because we are level 1. I don't think that's something we can try to do at this level. So basically I think I will try and reach Wonderful and come back here where we are.
Emperor, King, and
better suited for out of town missions like this one. So I don't think we can travel using the Mages Guild, so I guess we need to take a boat or use something different. So let's see. We should have enough money to reach Vanderfell by boat or something like this. Maybe we can sell also something here.
Narishia's fine potions.
the Nine and the Empire.
There's a guard here. Can't really steal anything. And it could be nice to visit the castle, but again, level 1, need some money.
What's this about?
Okay, so well, I don't remember what the ship. Maybe that one.
Emperor, King, and Justice, citizen.
And we say because that's one example of where the game could crash, because we are loading some very different cells, and if we have low memory, this could be a good example of where to crash. So we try to reach Hibernate, but first save, because we are playing since a lot of time and we could risk crashing. Let's see. as I was thinking. So this is the perfect example. When you crash like this after playing for a couple hours, the reason is very simple. You have low memory, so when you go in a very different location, the game is loading about 9 new cells all at the time. And if you have very few memory remaining, one single cell could consume about even more than 100 megabyte of memory. So 9 or 10 cells can easily consume a lot of your memory. Not every cell is going to use very much memory, but when you do long distance travel, you consume a lot of memory. So better always to save before doing like something like that, if you have such a big loading order. Anyway, I think I will stop here for now, because it's been a long enough streaming, but you get the idea. Having problems with memory is pretty normal if you have a super big loading list, at least in this period of Morrowind modding history, I think, because we have a lot of mods, Lua mods, not Lua mods, graphic mods, a lot of things, but it starts being difficult to have a lot of mods together working, because we consume all the memory. I'm not sure if this thing is normal or if it is some kind of problem coming from recent version of the tools that we use to extend Morrowind power, but this is it. The solution, the better solution at the moment is to remove some mods you don't really need and pay attention before doing certain things like traveling at a very long distance. Save, because you can always crash if you are playing from a couple hours especially. Having said that, I still hope that you like this big Morrowind installations, because they are still more than playable if you are able to play a couple hours for session, I think, before having to exit and reload. Anyway, thanks for watching, and hopefully see you next time. Bye bye.